Hi, my name is Deb Johnstone and welcome to Elevating Entrepreneurs Summit. I'm holding this summit because, like you, I'm an entrepreneur and I know some of the challenges that we can face. I want to show you how you can have plenty of time and the money you want without sacrificing you or your life. Now, today, I'd like to introduce to you Susan Bock. Susan is a leader in the field of creating dynamic results for women entrepreneurs, and she's been featured in Entrepreneur Magazine in 2005 and again in 2010. Susan loves helping women entrepreneurs stop working for their business and have their business work for them so that you can make more, work less, and have more time, energy, and freedom to live, love, and light up your life. And I love the sound of that. I'm so excited to have Susan with us today because she is going to be sharing with us her system for making more and working less. And I'm really curious as to what she's going to share. So, Susan, welcome. It's wonderful to have you with us.
Thank you, Deb. I am delighted to be a part of this summit. Elevating entrepreneurs, even just to say that makes my heart sing. So thank you for creating this opportunity for entrepreneurs and also for experts like myself who just really want to get the message out.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you for joining us and being part of this summit because I know you've got a great message to share. So I am really curious to hear what you're going to share because I always want to learn more about how you can make more and work less. I love it if you start by sharing a little bit about you, your story, and how you came to be doing what you're doing, Susan.
Oh, that's a great place because that's really where my discovery started. I was a corporate citizen. I was a senior vice president, had all the perks, thought that I was going to be in corporate for my life, my career, and the universe had other plans for me. So suddenly stepping out of the corporate world into the entrepreneurial world, I was completely unprepared. And what I did was take the business paradigm of corporate into being an entrepreneur. And that was not a smart thing to do.
That doesn't work.
That was my first mistake. However, I think it's a mistake that many of us make because we are conditioned to continue the atmosphere, the environment, the culture that we are accustomed to.
Yeah.
And I use the word accustomed specifically, Deb, because you've heard the expression, our comfort zone.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily that I'm always comfortable in that zone, but I am accustomed to it.
Yeah.
And so I was accustomed to a style of working, to a particular business ethic, to the values, if you will, of the corporation that I was with. I attempted to migrate that into my own business. As I said, that was the first mistake. It was not a pretty picture. However, I did have some success starting out this was in 2001, consulting and coaching in businesses. And it was only by coincidence over years, through about 2007, that I suddenly realized that I had a very unique ability to work with women business owners because I totally understood their unique dilemmas. I was one of them. I was experiencing it myself. And in that discovery process, I also became so aware of what we do unintentionally to sabotage our success. And one of those, the biggest thing to me that stood out most visibly was that we attempt to create a business model that does not complement our strengths. So the first step in my process is identifying what makes you unique. And for every single one of us, there is a laundry list of skills, characteristics, talents, gifts that we have that no one else has. And when we know what that uniqueness is, we are no longer in competition with anyone. We are a standalone, one of a kind business owner that has a very specific message and product or service. Then the next step is to build the business model in such a way that it supports your strengths rather than works against them. So when you say you're a lifelong student, I too am a lifelong student. I'm continuing to learn. I continue to refine and improve not only my business and my business model, but how I can help other women who are struggling with the same. And since 2010 now, this is what I have devoted my life to exclusively. This is my business because I know this is my uniqueness. Yeah. Well, just imagine what it's like every day to wake up with confidence, clarity, the certainty that you are doing what you need to do today so that you can make a contribution to society, make a difference in the lives of other people, however small or big that difference might be, and that you are loving the life that you're living each and every day. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely. And I love that this is around creating a business around your strengths. That's what I really love, because it requires less energy.
Absolutely.
It comes easier. There's not so much struggle in learning new strengths. I mean, we all know that you can, the behavior is flexible and you can learn new things. We all know that. But when it's around your skills and things that you're naturally good at, your strengths, it makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
It does. And here's a great example. I was working with Marie a short time ago. She had just gone through an intensive coaching program with a marketing expert, and part of her funnel, her marketing funnel, as was designed by this expert for her, was to do public speaking. Well, Marie wasn't really enamored with that idea. She wasn't excited about being on stage. And for those of us who are comfortable on stage, we know what it's like to be uncomfortable. We just can't put our best foot forward when we're already uncomfortable.
Yes.
So for her to step into that space was very counterintuitive and counterproductive to her achieving a life and the lifestyle that she had dreamed of when she started her business. Well, when I started working with her and we were going through this conversation, what came across to me is one of her natural strengths was technology. She was a techno whiz and loved it. So what we came up with was she could do webinars like that. It was just virtually invisible for her to do one. Well, then we knew that we were in her sweet spot. That was her uniqueness, that she could offer webinars, and she was totally comfortable in that space because here's the difference. People weren't looking at her.
Yeah.
When she was on stage, it was all eyes forward, and that made her very self-conscious and uncomfortable. So one very small tweak to her sales funnel made all the difference in the world. And she then could blossom and do what she did so well, which was deliver her message.
Wow.
It's important to find the medium and the vehicle that complements your style, your approach, your strengths, your gifts, so that it doesn't interfere with the message that you're attempting to deliver or the product you want to sell.
That is so true. Yeah, that is so true. And I liken it to even running a summit like this. There's the choice of you could do it by video interview or audio interview. And if you're not comfortable on camera, you're better to use audio interview. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, many people think that it's going to require a major makeover. When we look at making more and by working less, well, it's like, that is such a paradigm shift. How can I do that? It's not possible. And the reason part of that comes in, that's one of the obstacles we have to overcome, is because for most of our lives, what we were told to do is when something wasn't working, you work harder. You invest more time into it. You put forth more effort. When I'm saying do just the opposite. If you're really struggling with something, if it's just not coming and it's not natural, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Find another way, find a different avenue, a different approach, a different style that is conducive to you, so that the effort can be put in, quite honestly, making money, living the life that you dreamed of living when you started your business.
Mm.
And that's how I came up with the make more by working less. Because when we're in our genius, when we're in our zone, in our uniqueness, and it's an effortless, easy flow, it doesn't seem like work.
No, it doesn't.
So we spend less time doing it, and we have more energy, more resources to devote to living the life that we dreamed of living.
Yeah. Yeah, I so agree. You know, when I'm doing something like this, the time just goes so quickly because I'm really enjoying it. It's the kind of thing I really love to do. And it doesn't take a lot of energy at all. In fact, it energizes me.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm.
And you know, that's the indicator right there is when you feel more energized while you're doing it, and when you finish than you did when you started, then that means that's your sweet spot, because that's the universe saying your energy is in flow.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. That's the indication. When you feel more energized when you're doing it and more energized afterwards, then that's your sweet spot. Yeah.
That's right. You are in the flow. And when we are in resistance, either resisting the flow, resisting the energy, resisting the effort, which sometimes we do, all of those obstacles are sabotaging our success.
Yes.
They are preventing us from stepping into the wholeness of who we are. And part of this I attribute to society, part of it's to education, culture, upbringing. But one of my founding beliefs now, not before, but now, Deb, is that we came into this world 100% intact. We were complete. We didn't have a lack of confidence.
Yeah.
We didn't feel that we were less than. We didn't have a lack of belief in ourselves. Everything we needed to survive, physically, emotionally, intellectually, everything was present.
Yes.
Then over time, layers and layers of cover were put over that. And that's when the disbelief started to set in, or the not believing, or the not trusting. One of the, in my environment where I was brought up here in the States, it was very much part of our culture to blend in. You did not want to stand out. You did not want attention brought to you. Believe me, there were ramifications if attention was brought to you. So we wanted to blend in. And now here I am saying just the opposite. You do not want to blend in. If you find yourself in competition with someone, this is another indicator that you are not in your zone. You're not in your uniqueness. You're not monetizing your uniqueness in a way that will serve you well. You're competing with someone else. Another mistake that I see women in particular fall into is they compare their results to someone else's results.
Yes.
You're having a particular success with your business and it works very well for you. You have found your sweet spot. If I would attempt to replicate that, it would not work as well for me because I don't have your gifts and talents. So it's not going to work as well for me. I'm not going to get the results that you have. I'm going to feel, what am I doing wrong? What am I feeling less than? Where am I failing? And our response to that is to do more.
Yeah.
My response is do less.
Yeah.
Do not attempt to replicate, mimic someone else. Be creative because you have that creative ability within you, and do what makes your heart sing. Do what your purpose, your singleness of purpose was, what you were put on earth to do. And a kind of an equation that I came up with is when your uniqueness blends with your purpose or your passion, success is yours.
Love that. Mm.
That is your success right there. When you can blend those two.
Mm. Mm.
I feel like I went off on a tangent here.
Oh, yeah, but it's great. I love it. But that's
Good.
Following your uniqueness, right?
I'm losing track of time. Oh dear.
Fantastic. So how do you suggest our viewers start really identifying this for themselves? Now, you've identified one thing. It's like when you feel energized when you're doing it, when time passes quickly, when you feel energized afterwards, that's a sign. Yeah.
Yes.
What else? What else can they do?
An opposite end of the spectrum, another indicator, is when the first thing you think of every morning when you wake up is everything on your to-do list.
Yes. Okay.
If that is your constant companion, then you're not in your sweet spot.
Yeah. Okay. Mm.
You are being managed by your business rather than you managing your business.
Yeah.
So when you spend or you find yourself thinking more about business related decisions, business activities, adjusting your life to accommodate your business, big red flags. That's the time that you want to make a change. And in making the change, as I said, it doesn't have to be big or drastic. I'm not talking about a major revamp of your business. Oftentimes it's just a few subtle shifts of your perception, maybe some tweaks to different aspects of your business model or your delivery system. It doesn't take much to make everything fit. If you can imagine a jigsaw puzzle, if you're missing a few pieces of that puzzle, it's going to be an irritant every time you look at the puzzle because it's not complete.
Yeah.
And you know that it can be if you just had those missing pieces. Much the same with your business. Right now, you're missing a few pieces. And when you have those and you can put those in and they just fit perfectly, you will then have your complete picture and you will know exactly what it is you need to do.
So to find those pieces, it's looking
at what isn't working.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you bumping into would be another way to think of it. What obstacles are you consistently bumping into, consistently trying to overcome? When this is airing, it's going to be March, right? If you are in the same place of March of 2018 as you were in March of 2017 and you didn't like it in 2017, then you're probably still not liking it. You may have become more accustomed to it, back to what I referred to earlier, but that doesn't mean that you like it. So when I first start working with a client, one of the suggestions that I make is to make a list of everything that you do easily and effortlessly. Everything. Go through every room in the house, every aspect of your business, every part of your day, and list everything. Do this over a period of a week. And keep this list handy so that as something else comes to mind, you can quickly jot it down. That's going to give you part of the roadmap that we use to help you plan what needs to be the next steps, what needs to change, what needs to be accommodated. Because the whole process of making more by working less is inviting more of what you want into your life. And to do that, we have to let go of what you don't want.
And that can quite often be the challenge, because what you don't want sometimes leaves before what you do want comes in. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if I had to summarize the whole process that I do in just one sentence, very much, Deb, it's It's discovering the uniqueness within so that you can share your gifts with the world.
Love it. I really love that. This has been a fantastic conversation. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Susan, that we haven't already talked about?
There is, and this is so near and dear to me, is I would ask every listener to please believe and trust that you are here to make a difference, that you can make a difference, and you will when you step into your uniqueness. Believe and trust.
Love that. Thank you. I love it. I know that.
I jumped up over that.
I know. I love that. I love that. And it is about believing and trusting. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm delighted that you're making this effort for women and men around the world, Deb, because another aspect of being an entrepreneur, at least for me, that I experienced early on, is sometimes it's pretty lonely.
Yes, it can be.
We feel that we have to solve all the problems ourselves. We don't have necessarily a support staff or a sphere of influence that can gather and help us. So you're creating a beautiful community here of like-minded people who want to elevate themselves and their business, and they can say, I'm not alone.
Yes.
So thank you.
It's my pleasure, and that is one of the reasons I'm doing this, because one of my core values is connection. So, and it's very high on my list. So it's great to be able to connect this way, because as you say, being an entrepreneur it means a lot of time spent working alone, and I get energized by being alone, but I also love being around people as well. So this is really great. I love having all these really cool conversations.
And you are making it so.
Yeah. Susan, you have an amazing free gift to offer our audience, don't you? Would you like to share a bit about your free gift?
Oh, I'd love to. The title may not surprise anyone. It's 5 fast action steps to make more by working less. And it's an easy download. It's worth it. 5 fast action steps.
Awesome. That's fantastic. That sounds great. And I will be accessing that too.
Good.
Thank you so much. And you can access Susan's free gift on this page that you're watching the video on now. So after you've finished watching the video, click on the link. It'll either be underneath or to the side of the interview, depending on what device you're watching this on, and access Susan's free gift there. And the key here is to implement this, implement what you learn, because that really is the key to creating change. Susan, thank you so much. This has been a wonderful conversation, and you've offered such a lovely and valuable free gift to our audience. I'm really grateful.
Thank you, Deb, and virtual hugs to you and continued success.
Yes, to you too. Lots of love.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for tuning in. I trust that you've gained as much from this conversation as I have. Lots of valuable insights there for you, and to take away and start implementing yourself. Keep tuning in for upcoming interviews. We have more incredible experts all sharing their tips and strategies and wisdom on how you can have plenty of time and the money you want without sacrificing you or your life, and talking on topics like productivity, time management, mindset, wellness, marketing, branding, PR, and lots more. Susan, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you everyone. And I'll look forward to connecting with you again very, very soon. Have the most amazing day today. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.